He is known for his extensive knowledge and expertise in various fields such as history, philosophy, mathematics, science, and art. He is recognized for his groundbreaking two-volume work, The Decline of the West, which explores the organic theory of history and examines the lifespan of human cultures and civilizations. He is Oswald Spengler, a prominent German polymath and philosopher. In the early 20th century, there emerged a German polymath named Oswald Arnold Gottfried Spengler. With a wide range of interests that spanned history, philosophy, mathematics, science, and art, Spengler sought to develop a comprehensive theory of history. His monumental work, The Decline of the West, published in 1918 and 1922, shook the intellectual world with its audacious proposition. Drawing upon his organic theory of history, Spengler postulated that human cultures and civilizations are akin to biological entities, each with their own limited and predictable lifespan. He argued that Western civilization was nearing its demise, predicting that around the year 2000, it would enter a state of pre-death emergency, followed by a period of 200 years known as Caesarism before its final collapse. While Spengler's theories were controversial, they attracted attention and sparked discussions among scholars and intellectuals. His ideas influenced thinkers such as Arnold J. Toynbee and Francis Parker Yockey, and resonated with those who questioned the trajectory of Western culture. Interestingly, Spengler's views also led to him criticizing the rise of authoritarian leaders like Benito Mussolini and entrepreneurial figures like Cecil Rhodes, whom he saw as the embodiment of the impending Caesars of Western culture. His harsh critique of Mussolini's colonialist adventures demonstrated his staunch opposition to the abuse of power. Despite his early support for Hitler, Spengler later distanced himself from the Nazi regime due to its racialist elements, which ultimately led to his work being censored in his final years. Nonetheless, his ideas remained influential, even among Islamists who found resonance in his critique of Western civilization. Thus, Oswald Spengler's unique perspective on the organic nature of cultures and his bold predictions about the trajectory of Western civilization made him a prominent figure in the field of history and philosophy, leaving a lasting impact on subsequent generations of thinkers and historians. Oswald Spengler, the renowned philosopher, was born into a humble family on May 29, 1880, in Blankenburg, Germany. His parents, Bernhard and Pauline Spengler, instilled in him a strong work ethic and a disdain for intellectual pursuits. Tragically, Oswald's older brother passed away prematurely when his mother attempted to move a heavy laundry basket. Just 10 months later, Oswald came into the world, the eldest surviving child of the family. His paternal grandfather, Theodor Spengler, worked as a metallurgical inspector, grounding Oswald in a practical understanding of life. Oswald's fascination with the world of ideas began at a young age. Growing up in Halle, he received a classical education at the local gymnasium, immersing himself in Greek, Latin, mathematics, and the sciences. It was here that Oswald's mind was first captivated by the arts, particularly poetry, drama, and music, and he found himself drawn to the philosophical ideas of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and Friedrich Nietzsche. At the tender age of 17, he even penned a drama titled Montezuma, showcasing his early creative talent. After experiencing the loss of his father in 1901, Oswald embarked on a solitary journey of intellectual exploration. He attended various universities as a private scholar, delving into a vast array of subjects that piqued his curiosity. However, without clear direction, his studies lacked focus. In 1903, Oswald's attempts to complete his doctoral thesis on Heraclitus, titled Der metaphysische Grundgedanke der Heraklitischen Philosophie, proved unsuccessful due to insufficient references. Nonetheless, he persevered and, after retaking the doctoral oral exam, finally obtained his PhD from Halle on April 6, 1904. But Oswald's path was not without its challenges. In December 1904, he experienced a profound nervous breakdown, forcing him to confront the limitations of his own existence. In the depths of his struggles, he pondered the meaning of life, the pursuit of knowledge, and the nature of human existence. It was during this introspective period that Oswald's philosophical journey truly took flight. Oswald's educational journey shaped his intellectual lens, allowing him to develop a unique perspective on the nature of the world. His encounters with Nietzsche's profound insights and Goethe's artistic sensibilities molded his philosophical outlook, and he would go on to explore the depths of human thought in his seminal work, The Development of the Organ of Sight in the Higher Realms of the Animal Kingdom, a dissertation whose content is regrettably lost to history. Through disciplined study and personal reflection, Oswald sought to uncover the essence of knowledge and to understand the fundamental nature of existence itself. Oswald Spengler, a renowned philosopher and scholar, led a relatively uneventful life as a teacher in various cities in Germany during the early 1900s. However, it was in Munich, following his mother's passing, that he would find his true calling as a cloistered scholar. Living a frugal existence, Spengler relied on his modest inheritance, occasionally working as a tutor or writing for magazines to supplement his income. But it was during this time of solitude and financial hardship that he embarked on a groundbreaking intellectual journey that would shape his legacy. In 1911, deeply affected by the Agadir crisis, Spengler expanded his initial plan to focus solely on Germany within Europe in his work, The Decline of the West. He widened the scope, delving into the larger world historical processes that seemed to define the era. Working diligently, he completed the first volume of the book in 1914, but it was not published until 1918, shortly before the end of World War I. The response was overwhelming, thrusting Spengler into the spotlight and making him an instant celebrity. His timely exploration of the national humiliation of the Treaty of Versailles and the subsequent economic depression struck a chord with many Germans who found solace in Spengler's ideas of decline as a larger historical phenomenon beyond their control. As the decline of the West gained international recognition, it sparked wide-ranging conversations and debates. The second volume, published in 1922, delved into the unique nature of German socialism, contrasting it with Marxism and presenting it as more in line with traditional German conservatism. Though his ideas were met with mixed reviews, Spengler's work continued to captivate readers and intellectuals alike. Even those who had not read his books found themselves discussing his theories. While some historians criticized his non-scientific approach, others, like novelist Thomas Mann, likened the experience of reading Spengler to the profound impact of encountering Schopenhauer's philosophy for the first time. Spengler's philosophy resonated beyond his native Germany. Academics, sociologists, and philosophers all grappled with his ideas. Max Weber regarded him as an ingenious but learned dilettante, while Karl Popper dismissed his thesis as pointless. Yet, both volumes of The Decline of the West were published in English in 1926, further expanding Spengler's reach and influence. Today, Oswald Spengler's philosophy continues to be a source of insight and contemplation. His exploration of decline, the impact of historical processes, and the complex relationship between socialism and conservatism remain relevant as we navigate the challenges and uncertainties of our own time. Spengler's work encourages us to consider the larger forces at play in shaping our individual and collective experiences, urging us to seek a deeper understanding of the complexities of our world. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a renowned philosopher of the 18th century, believed that the existing political systems of monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy were all plagued by increasing levels of inequality. He argued that these inequalities would eventually lead to revolutions, perpetuating injustice. However, Rousseau also believed in the capacity for self-improvement and saw the potential for a better political system to address the problems faced by humanity. In his influential work, The Social Contract, published in 1762, Rousseau outlined the basis for a legitimate political order within a framework of classical republicanism. The book presented a vision of a new political system that aimed to restore human freedom. Rousseau posited that the state of nature was a primitive condition where there were no laws or morality. It was through the benefits and necessity of cooperation that humans left this state and formed societies. As societies developed, the division of labor and the concept of private property led to the adoption of laws and institutions. However, in this degenerate phase of society, people became increasingly competitive and dependent on each other, threatening their survival and freedom. Rousseau argued that individuals could preserve themselves and remain free by joining together into civil society through a social contract. By abandoning their claims of natural right, individuals could submit to the authority of the general will of the people as a whole. Rousseau believed that by following the general will and participating in direct democracy, individuals would be protected from being subordinated to the wills of others. They would also ensure their own obedience to the law since they collectively serve as its authors. It is important to note that Rousseau made a distinction between the government, responsible for implementing the general will, and the sovereign, which is the rule of law itself. While Rousseau favored a republican form of government at the city-state level, with direct democracy as the ideal decision-making process, he opposed the idea of representative assemblies. He argued that France, due to its size, could not meet the criteria of an ideal state according to his principles. The Social Contract stands out for its logical rigor, which Rousseau acquired from his study of mathematics in his youth. Its ideas on political philosophy remain relevant today as we grapple with issues of inequality and seek better political systems to address the problems faced by society. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the renowned philosopher, offers us a unique perspective on economics through his writings. In works such as The Discourse on Inequality and The Social Contract, Rousseau delves into the intricacies of finance and development. While some critics have deemed his economic theory as sporadic, others admire his mature thought on the subject. Rousseau's economic theory centers around a critique of modern wealth and luxury. He raises concerns about the negative consequences of excessive materialism in society. Rousseau argues that the pursuit of wealth often leads to inequality and discontentment. He encourages us to question our relentless desire for material possessions and reflect on their true value in our lives. However, not all of Rousseau's economic thought is opposed to commerce. Scholars like historian Istvan Hunt suggest that Rousseau sees the potential for well-regulated commerce within a well-governed civil space. He acknowledges the benefits of trade, finance, and luxury when they serve the overall welfare of the Republic. In Rousseau's vision, the role of a modern legislator is not to entirely reject utility, self-love, or commerce. Instead, he seeks to tame these elements and harness them for the greater good. Rousseau recognizes that a well-balanced society can benefit from regulated economic activities while maintaining a focus on the health and well-being of its citizens. By examining Rousseau's economic theory, we can gain insights into our own daily lives. His critique of materialism encourages us to evaluate our priorities and avoid getting caught up in the relentless pursuit of wealth. Instead, we should strive for a balanced approach to commerce that benefits society as a whole. As Rousseau himself once said, "My life will recur in exactly identical fashion." His words remind us of the importance of reflection and introspection in our daily lives. Through thoughtful consideration of our economic choices, we can cultivate a healthier and more balanced society for ourselves and future generations. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a visionary philosopher, believed that education should focus on developing the character and moral sense of the pupil rather than simply imparting knowledge. Rousseau's philosophy aimed to cultivate self-mastery and virtue in individuals, allowing them to navigate the imperfect society they would inevitably encounter. In his approach, Rousseau emphasized the importance of natural consequences in learning, advocating that children learn right and wrong through experiencing the outcomes of their actions, rather than through physical punishment. This method, known as the disciplinary method of natural consequences, helps children understand the consequences of their choices without causing them harm, as overseen by a dedicated tutor. Rousseau was also an early proponent of developmentally appropriate education, aligning stages of child development with the evolution of culture. He divided childhood into different phases, considering each stage as a critical opportunity for learning and growth. Rousseau suggested that at the age of 16, a young adult should learn a manual skill such as carpentry, fostering creativity, independent thought, and providing a backup means of livelihood in case circumstances change. While Rousseau's ideas are prescient in many regards, he held patriarchal views regarding the family structure. He believed in the moral superiority of the patriarchal family, envisioning women as being subservient to their husbands. Rousseau's ideal woman, represented by Sophie, Émile's destined wife, was educated to defer to her husband's authority while Émile, as the ideal man, was taught self-governance. Rousseau's concept of the private sphere relied on the subordination of women to facilitate the functionality of both the domestic and political realms. These aspects of Rousseau's philosophy align with the notion of the bourgeois nuclear family, where the mother takes on the responsibility of managing the household and caring for children. However, feminists, beginning with Mary Wollstonecraft in 1792, criticized Rousseau for confining women to the domestic sphere and excluding them from broader societal engagement. Rousseau's belief that women should breastfeed their children was seen by others as a redeeming quality, as it emphasized the importance of maternal care. Rousseau's ideas continue to shape modern educational practices, particularly in child-centered education. His influence can be seen in the theories of educators like Pestalozzi, Madame de Genlis, Maria Montessori, and John Dewey, who share common ground with Rousseau's philosophy. Rousseau's emphasis on character development and experiential learning provides valuable insights that can help us navigate daily life by encouraging self-reflection, understanding consequences, and embracing age-appropriate learning opportunities.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.